General Hospital spoilers reveal that in all that time, I've seen countless twists and turns, heartbreaks and triumphs, but the recent disappearance of Maxie has truly shaken me to my core in a way few storylines have managed to do. It feels as though the writers have taken one of our most beloved and resilient characters and thrust her straight into a mystery that is both thrilling and deeply concerning all at once. Just when we thought she was finally waking up from that long and frightening coma, bringing a wave of hope back to everyone who has followed her journey so closely, she seems to have vanished again almost as quickly as she returned. This isn't the kind of exit we usually see on the show. It is abrupt, mysterious, and leaves so many unanswered questions hanging in the air that I find myself replaying episodes in my mind long after they end. What has me most intrigued and honestly a bit worried is the emerging information that Maxie uncovered the true identity of Cassius. For those of us who have been following closely, the man we believe to be Nathan was never who he appeared to be, and Maxie, with her sharp mind and unyielding determination, pieced together something so dangerous that it forced an immediate response. Discovering who Cassius really is set off a brand new attack, one designed to silence her completely. Cassius moved swiftly and decisively, orchestrating her disappearance in a calculated move that has effectively removed her from the canvas entirely. This new adjustment of truths that have been hidden for so long is pushing the entire narrative into fresh territory, forcing new calculations and strategies among every character touched by the fallout. It is as if the ground beneath Port Charles is shifting once more, and the writers are recalibrating the story in ways that keep us guessing at every turn. If these changing calculations continue to expand as they seem to be doing, we are heading straight into a cascade of troubles that could redefine relationships we have grown to cherish over the decades. One of the aspects that troubles me most as a longtime viewer is how this sudden disappearance is affecting young James. That sweet boy has already faced more instability in his short life than any child should have to endure, and now with his mother gone again so unexpectedly, he is being thrown into a state of confusion and emotional turmoil that breaks my heart every time I think about it. Felicia, who has always been such a pillar of strength for her daughter through every storm, must be beside herself with worry and fear. The two of them together represent the very heart of this family, and seeing them pushed into this frenzied new kind of madness creates a sense of impending disaster that keeps me glued to the screen each and every day. I keep wondering whether Felicia will draw on her own history of courage and resourcefulness to take matters into her own hands, and I suspect she might, because that is exactly the kind of resilient spirit the show has always celebrated in its strongest women. The new calculations stemming from Maxie's knowledge of Cassius have placed them in what feels like an escalating predicament, one that could spiral into real tragedy if the truth does not surface soon enough. Then there is the looming threat to deception, the company that Maxie has poured her heart and soul into for so long. It is not merely a business to her. It became a symbol of her creativity, her fierce loyalty, and her ability to rebuild after every hardship life has thrown her way. With her sudden and complete removal from the picture, the entire future of deception now hangs in the balance, teetering on the edge of uncertainty and potential collapse. New threats are emerging from within and without, and her absence is proving to be one of the most haunting new obsessions the show has given us in quite some time. I have always admired how Maxie brought such energy and vision to that venture, turning it into something far greater than just a cosmetics line. It represented female empowerment and resilience right in the middle of Port Charles, and now without her guiding hand at the helm, I worry about internal conflicts, external takeovers, or even the slow unraveling of everything the team works so hard to achieve. This danger to deception feels intimately connected to the larger instabilities we are witnessing across town, and it only heightens the emotional stakes for all of us who have come to love these characters as our own extended family. What sets this storyline apart from many others in General Hospital's rich and storied history is how it blends deeply personal family drama with larger, more sinister machinations that echo some of the greatest villainous plots we have ever seen. In the past, we watched characters disappear due to outside circumstances or creative choices, but this feels deliberately woven into the very fabric of the plot itself. Cassius's actions have sent ripples throughout the entire community, forcing everyone to recalculate their alliances, their risks, and their very sense of safety. My personal belief, which may differ from what some of the younger fans are saying online, is that the writers are intentionally drawing these subtle parallels to the old Phase-In legacy while giving it an entirely fresh and modern spin. It honors the show's deep roots without feeling repetitive, and that is something I truly appreciate after all these years of watching. Maxie has grown so much from the impulsive young woman she once was into the fierce mother and businesswoman she is today, and her temporary removal only makes us appreciate her role even more when she finally returns. I often find myself asking why now, of all times, and why Maxie in particular, who has already survived so much heartbreak and danger. The answer, I believe, lies in her very strength. She has always been a character who refuses to stay down, and perhaps Cassius sees her as the biggest threat to whatever larger agenda he is pursuing. By removing her from the daily life of Port Charles, even for a short while, he thinks he can proceed unchecked. But I have complete faith in the writers of General Hospital. They have a proven way of bringing our favorites back stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. I suspect Maxie is not truly gone forever, but is perhaps being held or hiding while she gathers the evidence that will one day blow this whole conspiracy wide open. The latest leaks and insider hints only support that feeling, showing subtle clues in the way other characters mention her in passing, or the empty spaces and scenes where she naturally belongs. This whole saga is making the show hotter than it has been in many months. Every new episode feels charged with possibility and tension, promising another piece of the puzzle and another adjustment in the truth that could lead to explosive confrontations we have been waiting for. The air in Port Charles right now feels electric, filled with the promise of revelations that will change everything we thought we understood about these families and their intertwined lives. Cassius has set off a chain reaction that is affecting not only Maxie, but the entire community around her, and the new calculations for survival are growing more complex and urgent with each passing day. Friends and allies are beginning to question old loyalties, and the sense of anticipation is what keeps me coming back, day after day, even after all these decades of faithful viewing. As someone who has lived through every major era of the show, from the original Phase-On reign of terror to the more recent family secrets and business battles, I can honestly say this chapter feels like a masterful evolution. It reminds me of times when other beloved characters face similar threats, yet it centers squarely on Maxie in a way that feels fresh and deeply personal. Her relationships, her struggles, and her quiet moments of triumph have been woven so tightly into the fabric of the show that her absence creates ripples that touch nearly every other storyline. The future of deception, the well-being of James and Felicia, and the larger question of who Cassius truly serves are all colliding in a perfect storm of drama that has me counting the hours until the next episode airs. I keep reminding myself that General Hospital has always excelled at showing us that even in the darkest moments, hope and love can ultimately prevail. The current mysteries surrounding Maxie and Cassius are sure to deliver some of the most memorable moments in recent memory, and I, for one, cannot wait to see how it all unfolds. Will James and Felicia uncover vital clues about her whereabouts? Could an unlikely ally step forward to help bring her home? And what role will deception play as the battleground for the next major confrontation? These are the questions that keep the story alive and vibrant, and they make every viewing session feel like a special event rather than just another afternoon in front of the television. My heart is with all the characters navigating this turbulent time, and I encourage every fellow fan to stay as tuned in as I am. The heat is truly on in Port Charles right now, and the best is yet to come. Maxie's story is far from over. This disappearance is merely the latest chapter in her remarkable journey, and I have no doubt she will return to us even stronger than before. Until then, I will continue watching with bated breath, notebook in hand, ready to celebrate every surprising revelation and every heartfelt reunion that the writers have in store for us. General Hospital never disappoints for long, and this particular chapter is proving to be one of its most intriguing and emotionally rich yet. I wouldn't miss a single moment of it, and I hope you feel the same excitement that has kept me loyal for all these wonderful years.